I'm poet and writer Case Spivey. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy holidays. Happy end of 2020. Can't put too much weight on a year being a year by itself because, you know, time is a construct, but it is gonna feel nice to get out of this just trash fire year, and next year has a lot of promise. I wanted to go ahead and go over what my resolutions were for last year, how I did for them, and to just talk to you a little bit before the year closes out. I actually killed my resolutions from last year. I did really good. I say killed. I didn't get all of them, but some of them were just kind of harder to do. I just wanted to kind of go through the resolutions that I made and how I did this year, because it was a pretty good writing year when I stop and think and look back and don't blame myself for all the time that I really didn't feel like I could write. My number one goal was to write my study abroad book, which is the one that I did for NaNoWriMo. So it has been written. I'm very happy about that, and I'm actually working on revisions for it right now. Number two was revise my paranormal romance. I did a lot of that at the beginning of the year, and I kind of hit a roadblock where the plot was concerned, and so I did a lot of revision, and the first part of the book I think is like ready for other people to read and give me feedback on. But I really want to get that core meaty plot bit, the like climax part, figured out before I move forward with it. So I kind of set it aside so I could focus on the study abroad book again. Number three was to try PitMad, and I did. I entered PitMad for the first time last year. Didn't really get any results, but I think I'm going to try it again this year for querying my study abroad book as soon as it's ready. Number four was like a personal one at work, which is get a raise, and I did. Number five was another personal goal. I wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I didn't get there, but I also it's okay. I feel like I've had better just engagement this year. Like I've been really liking getting to know people who engage with me on my channel this year. It's been really nice to kind of build my own little community without feeling like I'm stretching too far yet, and to kind of get used to a higher subscriber count, because, you know, this time last year was the first time I had even like over 100, so this is really good. Number six, get my passport changed so it has my correct last name on it, and I have finally done that. I am set to travel now that you can't travel anywhere. I do have a goal though. Once everything with COVID is smoothed over, I've got the vaccine, most people have the vaccine, travel opens back up again, I'd really like to go back to England where I studied abroad and see, I know a lot of things have changed, but I'd like to see it again. Just experience those experiences. Like it'd be so nice to just hang out in Lancaster, like have a week and just explore the area again. It would just be so nice to go back. Number seven was read a book every month. I killed it. I read so many books this year. I was up to 12 books by like May, and last year I did not get that far. So I killed my Goodreads goal. I read so many books, and so many like interesting different books. I bought so many books, and yeah, I bought so many books. I just kept asking for money for books for like my birthday and stuff, and that's what I did with my raise too, was buy some books. So I've been going ham on the books. It's been good. It's been nice to read some really like different interesting books this year. Number eight was to send out poetry submissions monthly, and I started off doing really well with that, and I kind of hit a lull. I kind of hit a bit of a poetry block in the later half of the year, so I didn't quite keep up with that. I think I sent out enough poems in the early half to count for like 5 a month, but since I didn't really specify that for my goal, I said I didn't actually do that this year, so that's unfortunate. Number nine was to finish and send out a short story. I finished 3 short stories and sent them out for submission this year, and one of them I actually got really great feedback on from a literary press, so I'm gonna keep working on some of those, and who knows, maybe one of them will get published next year. And then number 10 was to stop eating meat and dairy, and I sort of revised my vision of sort of what I want my diet to be. I don't want to eat meat unless it is like well prepared, because like there's such a difference between getting like a McDonald's hamburger or getting like a specially prepared steak or something. I want to eat, if I'm going to eat a meat, I feel like I want it to be a good meat. So I'm not going to just eat crappy meat. I'm not going to get like a hamburger or something. If I'm going to get something with meat in it, I'm going to get something that's good. Otherwise, I'm going to choose a vegetarian option. And at home, unless I'm like, I want to make this fancy meal that involves meat, or I want to do like a sukiyaki or something like that, or otherwise I'm just going to keep it vegetarian. And I think that felt more right to me. It felt like if I'm going to be consuming meat, to be doing it in a mindful manner, but also to do it when it's going to be delicious and not to just eat it like it's chips. Okay, you understand what I mean. So those were my goals for last year, and I did a good job with them, honestly. I pretty much met them. I feel pretty good about the level of goals I gave myself for last year was realistic and accomplishable even in 2020 with as much of a trash fire as it was. I think I'd like to do a little bit more ambitious goals coming into the new year, but it's not New Year's yet, so I'm not going to write my goals yet. There is something else I wanted to talk about that is going to be really exciting for the beginning of next year, kind of starting now and then into the beginning of next year. But that is that I am doing another buddy read with the wonderful Michelle Flores at Shelly Flowers Reads and Writes. We're doing another buddy read, and this time it's a book that I had not previously heard about. She was the first one to introduce me to this one, and it is The Black Flamingo. So this one, I really honestly don't know anything about. I'm going into this one blind, but the reason that she chose it is this is a novel in verse. Ooh, there we go. This is a novel in verse. I loved The Poet X. It was incredible. It wasn't the very, very first novel in verse I'd ever read, but was the most recent one I'd ever read. I had read some when I was quite a bit younger. I believe Out of the Dust might be the one I was thinking of that I had read when I was much younger. But The Poet X was stunning. I was obsessed with it, and so I'm really excited to do this one as a buddy read. Let's just read the blurb together so I can kind of see what we're getting into. So Michael is a mixed race gay teen growing up in London. Ooh, okay. All his life, he's navigated what it means to be, I'm going to say this word wrong, Greek, Cypriot, and Jamaican. Ooh, oh, I'm intrigued already, but never quite feeling Greek or black enough. This is so cool, mixed race. I think I've talked about before, my husband's also mixed race, so I've kind of learned, since meeting him, I've learned a lot more about like how being mixed race is very specifically different from being one race. Being Chinese is a different experience both in America and in China to being half Chinese. So I'm excited to read a book about someone who is also mixed race. As he gets older, Michael's coming out is only the start of learning who he is and where he fits in. When he discovers the drag society, drag queen, everything about this is so exciting. This is gonna be great. When he discovers the drag society, he finally finds where he belongs, and the Black Flamingo is born. Told with raw honesty, insight, and lyricism, this debut from acclaimed poet Dean Atta explores the layers of identity that makes us who we are and allows us to shine. That sounds so good! I'm so excited. So we'll be starting reading this right away. We are both planning to read this and do a vlog similar to the reading vlogs that we did for The Haunting of Hill House back in October, which I will link up above for you. And then we are going to be doing a live show discussion about the Black Flamingo on the 10th of January. That's our plan right now. The 10th of January, we'll do a live show. Probably going to be similar to last time where it was 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific Standard. We'll give you more information as that's coming up, but if you want to join and pick up a copy of this novel in verse, definitely do so. Let us know if you're joining in down below. I think we'll have some hashtags for it. I'm also going to link Shelly Flowers' video so you can watch her announcement and read along with us, and then join us in the live stream and we'll talk about it. I'm so excited. I'm going into this one totally blind, but everything about it sounds so good. That's how I'm going to be starting the new year, is reading this fabulous book. Yes, that's everything I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to be doing another video talking about what my resolutions are for next year, so stay tuned for that. And let me know how you did on your reading and writing goals for this year. Were you able to get things done in 2020 even though it became stressful on just every front? Or was this a year you really needed to take a step back? Like, what was your biggest accomplishment? I really feel like my biggest accomplishment was hitting the writing goals that I meant to, even though I was just like, I felt like I was in a brain fog all the time. I felt like I wasn't getting anything done. But when I look back, I finished up 3 different short stories and sent them out. I got my study abroad novel written. I did major extensive edits on my paranormal romance. And I actually had like the biggest revelation about Circuit, and I really want to get back to it again. There are just a few key things. There's a few characters who I realized I had sort of been writing out who were so key to the story I needed to write them back in. I know what I need to do next for Circuit, and I think after everything sort of wrapped up with the study abroad story, I'm gonna go back into that. So that might be one of my goals for next year. But I think that was my biggest accomplishments writing wise. It hasn't been a great year for poetry for me. Even though I was working on putting my poetry book together, that was one of the things that I really kind of fell apart a little bit. The political climate was in such tatters, and the hope is just beginning to come back in, and I feel like I need to feel it out a little bit more until I'm ready to release the book. But it will be coming, and I will be getting back into writing more poetry soon, I feel like. Yes, for the time being, Merry Christmas to you and happy holidays, and hopefully you're getting some nice, beautiful winter weather and it's not too dark. We're finally past the darkest day. We're getting more light in here, but I hope your holidays were filled with lots of light and lots of love and lots of safety. I'm gonna be making cookies pretty much from when I'm finished filming this until Christmas is actually here, so hopefully you're getting some nice holiday treats as well. See you again soon, and until then, good luck to all of us, especially to you. Bye!